Hey folks, it's Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is of the 1980 film Without Warning, which you could not find anywhere for a home release for the longest time. Just some troubles, legal troubles, or something to that effect, and it finally got a DVD and Blu-ray release from Screen Factory. It has alternate cover. One of the titles, it came without warning. Earth is a hunting ground. Man is the endangered species. And what does that remind you of? Predator. And that's really what this film is famous for, some of the people involved, and because it seems like the precursor to Predator. Now, Predator and Predator 2 are much better movies. This film, it could be considered pretty dull, but overall I still liked it for what it was. The film, at least from the commentary, the director mentions that the budget was like $150,000, if that, and half of that was to get Landau and Jack Palance, who do a really good job in the film, at least in my opinion. But the people involved, for example, this alien, that face and head, which you don't see it much in the movie, just sort of the creatures hidden in shadows or in the background, is made by Rick Baker. Rick Baker made that head, made that design. And then the rest of the effects are the flying frisbees that hit people and suck on them, and sort of like vagina with teeth when you see them up close. Sort of like little killer frisbees, living frisbee things that the creature throws. That was done by Greydon Clark, who has worked on a lot of movies, bigger movies. You have an early role by David Caruso, I think his first film. He's in it for like, I don't know, 10 minutes at most. Like I said, Jack Palance and Landau had pretty decent sized roles in the flick. And the alien is played by Kevin Peter Hall, who would play the Predator in Predator. So it's weird. There are two films in which he plays an alien who hunts people for sport. One in 1980, Without Warning, and the other is Predator. That's a pretty big coincidence. The film also stars Neville Brand, Cameron Mitchell, and Greydon Clark. He's a guy who directed films like Joysticks, Satan's Cheerleaders, and even the review says the thematic predecessor to Predator. Definitely doesn't have the action of Predator, but I always thought this cover was weird. These people, if you look up close, these people's faces are all weird because they all four have like the same face as like a horribly ugly face is these four people on this cover. I mean, you can't see it on the. But if you look at the pose, you look up close, it's like, Jesus Christ. They look more alien than the alien on the. But the film could be considered pretty dull by a lot of people. I can understand that. I liked it for what it was. I liked Jack Palance. He's playing a good guy. He's not a psycho. He's not a villain. He's not an asshole. He is a hunter who really at the end of the day becomes the hero of the film. You know, self-sacrifice and all that. Marlon Landau plays a guy named Sarge, crazed Vietnam vet, who believes in aliens and then thinks that some of our main characters are aliens. And he's sort of our human villain of the piece. And the budget was pretty small. I think like $150,000. Very tiny, and half of that went to Jack Palance and Marlon Landau. Which makes sense because they're a reason why I enjoy the film. And also just the fun concept of just this was an alien hunting people for sport before Predator. But I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't seem much. Beginning, you have two hunters, a father and a sort of teenage son with a mustache. They don't get along with each other. The father gets hit with one of those flying, living frisbee things with teeth in the face. You have some goopy gore effects from Greydon Clark. And he dies. Teenager guy dies. You have four kids. One of them is David Caruso. The other is Christopher S. Nelson, and then I forget the two actresses' names. They go off to the lake. They stop at this gas station. Jack Palance is there. He's a hunter, and they're like, "Oh, why do you hunt?" And he goes, "Well, I hunt to poison the dragon, not the kill. You're my number one guy." No, he doesn't say that part, but I'm a fan of Jack Palance. May he rest in peace. I mean, I loved him in City Slickers. Uh, his little role in Batman, Tango and Cash, just a lot of films. I really like Jack Palance, and I thought he did a good job. I just liked his. You could say he does the same thing, but I like Jack Palance because he's Jack Palance. I just like what he does. He's a lot of fun to watch. And it's nice that here he's playing pretty much a good guy. He's not an evil guy at all. That was a really nice little change of pace. Well, I mean, he was a good guy in City Slickers, and such. But I really liked him in this film. But I mean, if they go to the lake, David Caruso, he doesn't have much to do, and I like David Caruso. I like him in CSI Miami and such. But it's his first role. He's pretty much there just to kiss a girl in the lake, then kiss a girl on land. Then it goes to our two leads. David Caruso and this girl's disappeared. Our two leads look for them, find a bunch of them dead in a shed. And like I said, David Caruso isn't in the film much. And some nice up close of some of the bodies, like yellow coming from some parts of their body. One guy looks like he has a hole in his head from the suckers. Again, they're pretty much vagina with teeth. One guy, his eye socket is gone. David Caruso's being hung on a hook and he's drooling yellow. And the two leads get into a van. One of those suckers get on the windshield. They get off with a windshield wiper. They go to a bar. And that's where they meet, they talk more to Martin Landau, who's pretty much crazy, believes in aliens. He's sort of our human villain, the piece. Jack Palance gets there. You have some pretty crummy lines of dialogue, like Martin Landau has to say, "Aliens ain't human, And it's like, no shit. Aliens ain't human, I mean, so yeah, I mean, this is the kind of movie you're dealing with. And he goes crazy, actually shoots what he thinks is an alien, but he shot the sheriff. Jack Palance punches shit out of Martin Landau, helps the kids. Actually sees one of those frisbee things on a piece of the bar. Cuts it with his knife. Two leads show Jack Palance the shack. Jack Palance gets hit in the leg. Tells the kids to go. Palance cuts it off his leg. Two leads get picked up by a cop car. Martin Landau is driving because he's crazed. He's the Sarge. He's crazy. And he thinks the kids are aliens in human form. They get away from Martin Landau. At the same time, Jack Palance has gone bad. They had dynamite to set up the shot for a trap. They're chased by Martin Landau. They jump off a bridge. They get to a house. They look around the house. Ultimately, she goes to sleep, wakes up. Some stupid character stuff where the door's open. Must have been the wind. Or the guy goes, "I thought I turned this water off." Just idiots. Says, "I'm going to get you out of this." But he doesn't, because I guess originally in the script, both of the leads were going to live. But the girl wakes up, and in the last minute, the director changed his mind and said, "No, I want the boyfriend to die, or I want the guy to die." So the guy's found dead with a sucker on his face. Yeah, that was sort of like a last minute decision. She runs away. Jack Palance saves her. They get to the shack. Martin Landau gets there. And alien arrives, throws some frisbees at Landau. The Jack Palance shoots at the alien, doesn't work, gets hit. It's funny, this thing's in the trailer, and he says, "Alien!" and is going to do a self-sacrifice. But when I watched the trailer for the first time, I seriously thought he said, "Elliot!" Like, of course, this is before E.T., but I thought, is he a psychic visualizing Elliot from E.T.? Elliot! I'm like, that doesn't make sense that he's saying Elliot. Okay, he is saying alien. Okay, that makes more sense. I don't know why I thought he said Elliot the first time. Pretty much just the alien to the shot, holds the alien's leg, Lego hits the plunger, blows it up, and the alien's dead. So, I mean, just from the gist of the synopsis, it doesn't sound much. It sounds kind of an uneventful film. Because the alien is pretty much in the background. The body count, oh, he does kill a Cub Scout leader and scares the little kid Cub Scouts. It's a film that I think could have been shortened by at least, I mean, it's short enough movie as is. It says 89 minutes, but that's wrong. Because when I watch this is an hour and 36 minutes, not 89 minutes. So I don't know why this is 89 minutes. It's an hour and 36 minutes. So I don't know where they got that. But there's, I think, a good 10-15 minutes of room cut out to sort of quicken the pace. I mean, the whole sequence with Martin Landau getting him in the cop car and he's crazy. I like Martin Landau. I thought he did a good job, but it just felt a little too long of a space and time without the alien in it. And you don't see the alien's face until like get into the third act. Which I thought was a nice little moment where when she finds the guy she was with dead in the chair and she turns and the alien does like this from the corner of the room. The way that was set up, I kind of like that shot. The look of the alien doesn't bother me. I mean, for a low budget film, the Rick Baker design, I like the design. The cast, it was nice to see Jack Palance and Martin Landau in it. It was interesting to see an alien hunter movie before Predator. See little stuff like David Caruso had a hand in this, and Rick Baker had a hand in this, and it's a harmless movie. I think that's why I'm not ranting on it. It's a harmless film. It was an okay sit-through watch. But, the alien, all he does is just throw these little frisbee things. And at times, when you see it going across screen like this, I swear you see the strings at times. I mean, it's a very cheap, low-budget horror film. The lead characters there's not much to them. I mean, you could take or leave them. So I can understand people saying this is a dull movie. It does have its dull moments, and it's not the most exciting film. And like I said, I thought it was an alright film. I thought it was there. I watched it because of the curiosity's sake. I mean, it's a alien hunter film. I mean, even Jack Palance says, it's hunted for sport, and we are the prey. So I like Jack Palance in this. It's just that, I mean, he dies in a self-sacrifice, killing the alien with the help of the girl. But I just would have preferred if he lived. I just would have preferred that. And maybe have him be the actual star of the film. I mean, he's in the film for quite a bit. It's not like he's in the film for 5 minutes and that's it. He's in it for quite a bit. But I just would prefer him have the main focus and live than the kids, the teenagers. Because Jack Palance was more interesting. But, it is what it is. I would say check the trailer out, and if the film interests you, give it a look. I mean, you could do a lot worse. You could do better, but you could do a lot worse. I mean, I thought it was an alright film. I could see myself watching it again, but it was a time waster. I think that's the best way to put it. It was a time waster. You don't have the alien kill in any other way than throwing those little frisbee suckers. And the alien seems to die pretty easily because even though Jack Palance has him by the leg, when the explosion happens, the alien just stands there and takes it. Like, go ahead, give it to me. I mean, it's a very cheap, low-budget film, so maybe I'm being more lenient on it because of that. I mean, for a film that I did from the commentary from the director, he said it was less than $200,000, and you can't expect Independence Day or something like that, or Predator. I mean, that's a much bigger budget film, much better film than Predator 2, but I'd rather watch this than Predators. Didn't annoy me as much as Predators. It's a film that I don't repeat myself, but it was harmless for me. It didn't make me mad. I just think there's certain paces. The pacing could have been fixed. There's some stuff that could have been cut out. And really, this film could have been done in like an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. They need to be an hour and 36 minutes long. Because there's not much meat in there for a 96-minute movie. Maybe if the alien had more of a body count, or was killing people in different ways instead of the little frisbee things. You know, you did some little groupie effects when they get on people, but it's pretty much the same thing. He has no other weapons. He doesn't kill any other way. I think I would prefer it again if Jack Palance was really the main focus, because he was my favorite character in the film. But like the look of the alien, just nothing in it made me mad. And it's a little decent, very cheap, low budget sci-fi horror film that I think just the people involved. Oh, you have Martin Landau and Jack Palance. Oh, you have Rick Baker and Karen Peter Hall. Oh, you got David Caruso for a little bit. Oh, it was the premise, interesting premise, which of course better usage of Predator. So I didn't mind Without Warning for what it was, but if you're expecting a huge body count, gore effects, special effects showcase, if you're expecting lots of action and gunplay and firepower, if you're expecting the alien just going to town on everyone, you're not going to get it. Again, like I said, the alien's pretty much hidden, and maybe a shadow passes when someone has their back turned, but they sort of save the reveal of the alien until much later in the film. But yeah, I thought it was an alright flick. Alright film. I've seen a lot worse. But yeah, if you like the trailer, you could do much worse. Go, feel free to give it a shot. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.